Veil of reality parted. So Kolgrim starts his day as he normally would, waking up in the living quarters of the Perks clan and making his way about the city. We come into Kolgrim as he overlooks the harbor from the tradesman tier in his hometown of Homestead.
Ah, what a beautiful day.
Yes, you were watching the fishing ships sort of empty out into the harbor as the fishers of your village, your city, go out to work, and you are enjoying the fresh, salty air. Your day is immediately interrupted as you feel a quick shove to your back.
What the fuck is that?
As you spin and turn, you see your fellow clan member and sort of older brother figure, Fen, as he approaches to you.
I give him a great big bear hug.
And Fen sounds like this. Kolgrim! How does my brother fare?
Doing great this morning. How are you?
I am well. On patrol as usual. What does my brother do for the day?
Do I know what I'm supposed to do for the day?
I don't know. Figure it out. Yes, and?
I am supposed to be on patrol as well, but I have a little bit of a late start.
Ooh, sleeping it again. Deep within the honey ale, I think.
Just like every other night.
Yes. Well, why don't you head down to the trades tier? There's a peculiar ship that has arrived, and I'm not quite sure what it's all about.
What does it look like? Is it a typical elven vessel?
Take a look for yourself, brother.
And I rush outside to go and see what the ship looks like.
Roll me a perception check, because there's a lot of activity in the harbor at the moment.
Okay,
We're gonna roll. First roll.
It is, what is it? Oh, we are starting off very strong with an 11.
An 11. So with an 11 roll, you notice there's a lot of movement in the harbor. Many ships are leaving, but there is one that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It's hard to tell quite what you're looking at because you've seen a lot of seafaring vessels in your day as trade comes in and out of town. Okay. But this one doesn't look like one you've ever seen. It is very long, very slender, with what looks to be way too small of a sail to be seafaring.
Okay.
And you see sort of the shape, the outline of a humanoid sort of getting off the ship and heading in towards port.
Does it look big in comparison to other humanoids? Or smaller?
You can't really tell. You can't really tell from this far away. He's not. It's not standing near anyone, so you can't kind of give that perspective of comparing it to something else.
All right. Well, I will start to take off on a light jog to scope things out a bit.
Okay, brother. You head and you go see that, and I'm just going to keep patrolling the area. And be careful as you're kind of getting further away. Be warned. We've heard of bandits in the area.
I'll be fine.
You've run off at this point, and he sort of fades from view.
All right.
So you jaunt down from the tradesman tier onto the base level of the harbor area. It is not as busy as it usually is. There isn't any trade vessels in port, save for this peculiar ship. And
now, is the trade not being as busy as it usually is? Is that something that's kind of strange?
No, that's normal. I mean, it's still pretty early
early
in the morning. It's maybe like 9 o'clock, so people have already been. There's like a lot of ships already out, and the ones that have just left are probably hitting some of the more, I guess, not casual fishing areas, but some of like the lighter ones, maybe some of the newer ships and crews. There are ships that are already leaving for the day, so many of the people who are normally in a hustle and bustle around town have already set out to work. Your path is quite clear.
Okay.
So as you reach the harbor district, ahead of you is the docks where The ship in question is lying in wait. Other notable areas around there, there's a great tavern, a trade office, and some cargo docking areas where goods are moved and then taken either up into the city or put onto ships.
All right. I'd like to get closer to the strange vessel, and can I make out any markings, any people on the boat? Do I see that guy who was walking off it?
Sure.
Okay.
So as you approach the ship, you don't see anybody quite around. When you last caught the glimpse of the humanoid as he departed the ship, you did see him walking away, so you surmise at this point that you must have missed him. But the ship is very peculiar. It's made of a very dark, almost black wood. And why don't you give me a perception check?
Okay, let's see here.
Actually, sorry, make that a nature check.
That is a 3.
A 3.
A 3, sir.
You are baffled by this wood because it is unlike any wood that you have ever seen. It is very deep, dark black. It doesn't appear to be painted. It just appears to be naturally that dark. The ship is long and sleek, and quite curiously to you, knowing many ships, not having necessarily served on one, but have seen plenty in your life, you'll notice that there's not much of a deck.
Okay.
You can kind of get on it, you can walk around, you can get to where the mast is, and then there's a below deck.
Is the sail any particular color?
It is white. Standard sail canvas white.
Can I take a look around and see if I notice anybody that isn't familiar in the area?
Okay. As you sort of look around, why don't you give me a perception check?
Beautiful. Let's use a different dice. What is that? That is a nat 20.
Woohoo! Your keen senses, you know your target, and knowing that this is a very small village and you know plenty of people, you almost miss the very stout figure of a dwarf. Actually, something quite peculiar to your eyes, as it moves into the local tavern.
I am going to slowly follow the dwarf, but keep my distance.
All right. So you are now... Are you going to enter the tavern, or do you just want to kind of hang outside and mill about?
I'll enter the tavern.
Okay. So you enter the tavern. It's not incredibly busy. There are some late bloomers such as yourself, late risers, I should say, who are now sort of enjoying a breakfast. And you can see sitting at the end of the bar our dwarven friend enjoying some honey ale, which has been freshly poured into his mug. I'll give you a pretty good description of him. He is a dwarf with sort of a jet white hair pulled back. He has a very nice white beard that's done up in the standard dwarven fare of golden rings and black and red sort of tie-offs. You can tell that he is definitely a dwarf coming on in his years. Very, very harsh and rugged in the face, as most dwarves tend to be. You perhaps don't really know the difference between that and any other dwarf that you've ever seen, which is very few.
Okay.
And he's wearing a very dark black and red leather, a deep burgundy red, and a dark black. Dark black like the ship that you saw.
Okay. What's the name of the barkeep?
The barkeep's name is Sven.
Okay, barkeep Sven. I'd like to walk up to the bar, and I'm gonna say, "Morning, Sven. Hell of a night last night. Anything going on this morning?"
Oh, my boy, you drink with the best of them. Hey, now, Denon, I'll tell you that this man's gonna keep me in business no matter how many ships roll in. Would you like a little bit of the hair of the bear that bit you?
I will. Actually, yeah. Top me off. I've got to get to my watch here in a little bit, but a little drink won't kill anyone.
Ooh, I think I know just the thing. He pulls from the bottom of the bar a bottle with not a shiny, but a golden liquid inside, and he pulls a very small amount, probably what you would say is the size of a shot, into a glass and hands it to you.
Okay. Is this special stuff?
This is the good stuff,
Oh,
know.
Boy. Oh, it is the best stuff. Apparently, I will sip it daintily.
You're gonna take just a light sip,
as a joke while staring him dead in the eyes.
Sven or Denon?
Sven.
Okay. You do notice, by the way, Denon is not paying any sort of attention.
And
to
Denon's
you
the
at
dwarf,
moment.
right?
Denon is the dwarf. You surmise.
Okay.
Since he's the only one at the bar, and he referenced him by name.
Okay.
Sven says, well, after last night, I can imagine you would want to take it just a little bit slow.
I am going to look at Denon. And, so I hear your name's Denon. We don't usually get dwarves in these parts. Anything in particular bringing you to Homestead?
Not usually in these parts.
Very congenial, I see.
Look, I've had a long journey of just getting some supplies before I go on my way. I've heard the ale is quite good, and I'd like to keep to it.
The ale is the best. Is there anything in particular you're looking for while you're here? I might be able to point you in the right direction.
Supplies which I have obtained, and some peace and quiet.
All right. Safe journeys, and I wish you the best on your travels.
So thank you. Your people are kind as always.
Our pleasure. And I am going to slowly leave the bar.
Okay.
Nothing too much going on in here. Is there anything else going on in the pub?
In the pub, nope. There's just some people eating food, having breakfast. There, you do kind of notice as you walk out that people sort of paid attention to your conversation. Dwarves aren't impossibly rare to your area, but a lone
It's still
dwarf
something to gawk about a little bit.
Yeah, and a weird ship is definitely something that you can imagine will be talked about, but perhaps after
Before I leave, I want to turn back around and ask: did you come by yourself, or do you have a crew?
Just me.
That's a mighty big ship for one person.
Well, it's a mighty good ship for just one person.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave then.
Okay, so you leave the tavern, and the morning air greets you. There's still not a whole lot of people going on, running around. You do see some people are sort of moving some cargo that was left, from either the night before or from some early ships that have come and left already. You're not quite sure, but they're moving it up towards the trades tier, and people are going about their day.
All right. I'm going to backtrack a bit and try and find Fen and maybe tag along with him on his route.
Okay. So you head up to the trades tier, which is a little bit busy. The shops are in a hustle and bustle of workers at their trade. There are blacksmiths hammering tools and some basic weaponry. Weaponry you are quite familiar with, as you are a part of sort of the civil militia that protects not only the people of the island, but the bears that you are meant to
protect.
Yeah, to protect. You can smell baked goods and food being cooked from the local bakers and cooks, and you sort of stroll down the street as go.
I'm gonna grab some snack along the way.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you walk up to the bakery. You see some fresh loaves being brought out of the oven, and after some light pleasantries with the baker, whom you know quite well, the baker, of course, being from the Moro clan. They are the craftsmen. Sven is also of the Moro clan, which you know because he is a craftsman of the trade keeping, or tavern keeping rather. He gives you, a nice little piece of bread to enjoy, some second breakfast, if you will.
All right. And I'm going to keep darting off to find my buddy.
All right. Well, you spent about a solid 20 minutes on this tier looking for your brother, and you can't quite seem to find him.
Do I see any other people from the Perks clan?
Yeah. You see sort of, not necessarily at attention, but sort of at post, if you will, one of the other members of your clan, someone to a similar, rank of you. Okay. And his name is Thompson. You know this, because you know almost everybody on this island.
Gotcha. Hey, Thompson, have you seen Fen anywhere?
No, Kolgrim, I haven't seen Fen.
Well, wonderful job you're doing taking watch of the city. Can't even find one of your own.
I'm on the look for the bandits, okay? They said that if bandits come here, we could have big problems. So I'm staying here, and I'm watching the harbor. What are you doing?
Looking for Fen, like I just said.
Well, he's not here, and the bandits aren't either. So I'm doing my job. Maybe you should do yours.
Did you see the dwarf down in the harbor?
Yeah, it's a dwarf.
Man, these people in this town are dog shit. All right.
You know Thompson, you kind of grew up together. You were in the same ranks. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he sounds like an idiot.
There's a pretty good reason that, there's talk of bandits in the area, and one of the protectors is standing one tier up from the harbor where action might need to be taken if need be.
Okay, and I take it out of all the places the bandits would target, it would be the harbor?
That the bandits would probably not even set foot on Homestead. You know that they would be out hunting bears.
Oh, the bears. Okay,
because
so
that's
just
what
be trying to
after.
poach, not actually trying to do anything in Homestead itself.
Yeah. Listen, Kolgi. The last time I saw Fen, he was heading up towards the homes. So if you want him, you can go up to the homes.
I will do just that. Have a good watch.
All right, buddy. Hey, isn't that pipsqueak, Derek? Sure enough, you see bolting in your direction your youngest clan member brother, Derek. And he is sprinting towards you at full speed.
Okay. Derek, what's going on?
Grodd's sick. He started coughing. They told me to get you.
Where is he?
He's at home. Come on.
All right, let's go.
So you take Derek by the hand and you sprint up.
Wait, I take Derek by the hand?
Yeah. Well, he's a real little kid.
Oh, okay. I'll just pick him up and carry him. I'm a big boy,
yeah.
right?
You know where you're going. This is your home for sure.
He can piggyback. This is cool. This isn't weird. We're family.
You approach the Perks clan. I'll call it a clan hall. I hadn't come up with a really good name for it, but clan hall. And there are a lot of people.
It's called Perkins.
We
serve a great breakfast.
There are a lot of people outside your clan hall. Like, a lot of people. One would even say that maybe you could surmise that anybody who isn't working or out on a boat is here. Around your house.
I'm just going to push past everybody and go inside.
Okay. So as you force your way towards the group, you hear someone yell, "Hey, Fen! Your brother's here! Kolgrim's here!" And you see Fen right in the doorway. He runs up to you, and he grabs you, and he pulls you inside that house.
All right.
So you're inside, you were away from the group, and Fen kind of walks out ahead of you and is looking quite concerned.
What's going on with Grodd?
I forget Fen's voice already, but listen. Grodd's not doing well. I think it's got something to do with his bear. He didn't want to talk to me until you got here, so let's go.
All right, so we go.
You go into up a winding staircase up to the Elder's Hall. The Elder's Hall is not quite necessarily like a throne room style, but connected to his personal quarters is where you would all eat.
Okay.
So what is peculiar to you is that the hall is totally empty. All of the trappings...
I see this as a really nice firehouse.
Yeah. Almost if you could picture the inside of Winterfell from like season 1.
Okay.
Yeah, like that style. Like this is where your family comes to eat.
Yeah.
And there's always someone kind of running around, either cooking or
doing something.
Yeah, cleaning
there's
or
some
preparing.
activity going on.
This place is just desolate. There is no one around. It is you and Fen, and you walk through this room, which is a bit chilling to you, being so empty, and you enter the Elder's quarters, where he is. You see a very, very just wiped, absolutely wiped Elder Grande. Elder Grande, as you remember him, definitely coming on his years, perhaps 60s, like late 60s, but still quite stout. He has a deep connection with his bear, Cedric, and they have been the leaders of the Perks clan really ever since Grodd was probably about 30-ish, so a good couple of decades under his belt, and very well loved. But the Elder Grande you see as you approach his bedside...
Diminished.
Just very diminished, absolutely wiped.
Okay.
As you sort of lean in closer as he's beckoning you, it's very hard to understand him, but you hear him say, Kolgrim, something's wrong on the island. You need to go find Cedric. Protect the island. Protect the bears. Bring Fen. And he doubles over in pain and can say no more.
Yes, Elder. We'll go immediately.
Okay.
And I grab Fen and we're out the door.
Is there anything you need to do before we go?
I don't think so. What's the fastest way to get there?
Oh, we gotta find a ship. Let's go down to the harbor.
Yeah,
the harbor,
quick.
Yeah. So the two of you rush down to the harbor. At this point, many people have heard of what's gone on. You see concerned looks as you sort of dart through town. Thompson's got a really stupid look on his face. Like, he knows something's going on, and he also knows that he's not involved.
Hey, Thompson, wipe that dumb look off your face.
Yeah, you wish. And he's gone as you're running by. You get to the harbor and are horrified to find that there just aren't any ships. The fishing vessels are all still out at work. They wouldn't have received news yet. The only ship is that of the dwarf Denon.
I fucking knew it. Okay, how much money do I have on me right now?
Money and payment isn't really a thing on the island, but you have, I would say, probably about 20 gold pieces, which is like what you have. Like,
that's it. That's all I have in the world. Okay. I'm going to immediately go to the tavern.
Okay. Denon is still at the end of the bar eating.
I'm walking over to
drinking.
Denon. Denon, I know
Yes,
we
boy.
just met this morning. I know this is going to be an extremely odd request. There are no ships in the harbor that are available for us to try and get to the other island. Would you be able to take us there immediately? This is a matter of grave importance.
What kind of importance?
The kind that is causing a lot of harm to our elder.
Your elder? What ails him?
Something's wrong with his bear. I know you probably don't know much about our customs, but a bear that is bound to one of our own may as well be part of the person itself.
And he's not shown any signs of illness before?
No, this is, Fen, tell him.
Listen, dwarf, I don't know who you are, but you don't know what we do here. He goes, I know your connections with the bear. Do you think it's the link? Something's happening to Cedric at the very least. It could be poachers, it could be something else. We just won't know until we get there. You see Denon sort of take a very exaggerated, deep breath. You then see him immediately stand up and begin to head to the door. We go.
All right, this is wonderful. Do you need any payment?
Enough. We go. And he
right,
slams open the door, and you hear the door slam, and as you go out, you hear one more slam. You turn around, and you see Fen on the ground. Blood coming from his mouth.
Fen, are you all right?
Mal! And you see him get into the fetal position. Mal, you know, is his spirit-linked bear. Denon says, "Boy, now!" And
can I... Fuck, I shouldn't even grab Fen.
You see Sven sort of dive over the counter. Go, Kolgrim, go!
All right, we go. Let's go.
All right, so you get on to the ship with Denon. He sort of disappears under the deck in a quick second, but very quickly you see him return, place sort of an interesting metal sort of L-shaped, almost like Chira would know it as a crowbar shape. But
he's got like a fucking lock for his boat.
Kolgrim has no idea what this is, has never seen anything like it, and he puts it at the shaft of the sail.
Okay.
And almost immediately too, and even a bit oddly, the boat sort of catches sail or catches wind and begins to head out. And
we're not tied off or anything, right?
No.
Oh, we're just going.
He already took care of that. You took a little bit in your care of Fen to it gave basically Denon plenty of time to get out and take care of the boat. So you are off and into the ocean.